Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Dominique Collignon-Maurin. Passed away at the age of 76, Dominique Collignon-Maurin was a celebrated French actor, author, musician, and director known for his rich contributions to cinema, theater, and voice dubbing. Born on April 1, 1949 in Toulouse, France, Dominique was the son of the renowned actress Mado Maurin and composer Georges Collignon. His artistic lineage and upbringing set the stage for a multifaceted career, blending acting, music, and voice performance. Dominique's journey in the arts was diverse and profound. As a young man, he showed early talent not just as an actor but also as a musician. Alongside his brother, Patrick Duer, an actor, he performed a musical act inspired by Negro spirituals, with Dominique playing the saxophone. He was deeply involved in free jazz music and in 1975 founded the Atonal Swing Quartet, highlighting his passion for musical improvisation. On screen, Collignon-Maurin's filmography includes appearances in notable French films such as La Belle Américaine, 1961, Les Amitiés Particulières, 1964, La Bande à Bono, 1968, Neige, 1941, Les Princes, 1983, Zanzibar, 1989, and Lune Froide, 1991. His performances captured a wide range of emotions and themes, contributing to the evolution of French cinema across decades. Dominique was also highly esteemed for his extensive work in dubbing foreign films and animation into French. He was famously the French voice of Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars trilogy, an iconic role that made his voice a lasting symbol for many French fans of the series. He regularly dubbed voices for major actors such as Nicolas Cage, Willem Dafoe, notably in Wes Anderson's films, Dustin Hoffman, Kevin Kline, and James Woods. Among his best-known animated roles was the voice of Hades in the French version of Disney's Hercules. Additionally, he narrated the last 3 French audiobooks of the Harry Potter series. Aside from his film and voice career, Dominique contributed his talents to radio, theater, and teaching, maintaining a lifelong devotion to the arts. Despite retiring from acting in films after 2004, he continued to work passionately in theater and dubbing until his later years. Dominique Collignon-Maurin passed away on August 4, 2025, in Villejuif, Val-de-Marne after a long illness. His legacy is deeply embedded in French cultural life, remembered as a versatile artist who bridged multiple disciplines with grace and creativity. He was part of a uniquely gifted family of artists and left an indelible mark on French cinema, music, and voice acting. Angus MacInnes passed away at the age of 77. Angus MacInnes was a Canadian actor best known for his iconic role as Gold Leader John Dutch Vander in the original 1977 Star Wars, Episode 4, A New Hope. Born October 27, 1947, in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, MacInnes' career spanned several decades and included a variety of roles in films, television, and stage, reflecting his versatility and dedication to his craft. MacInnes began his on-screen career in the mid-1970s with uncredited roles, such as in Rollerball 1975, and appearances in British TV shows like Play for Today. His breakout role came with Star Wars, where he played a Y-wing fighter pilot during the famous Death Star battle, a role he reprised decades later in the 2016 film Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. His participation in Star Wars connected him with one of the most beloved and enduring film franchises globally, earning him a lasting place in pop culture history. Outside of Star Wars, MacInnes had a broad filmography, including parts in Hellboy, 2004, Witness, 1985, Judge Dredd, 1995, Out for Justice, 1991, and The Little Hobo, 1980. He also found success on television, notably in the Scottish drama series River City, and the History Channel's Vikings, where he portrayed Tostig. Later in life, he resided in Edinburgh, Scotland, where he was also known for opening a thriving pizza restaurant. MacInnes was loved as much for his charm off-screen as for his roles on-screen. His family announced his passing on December 23, 2024, stating that he died peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. Angus MacInnes will be remembered as a warm, generous, and talented actor who brought to life many memorable characters and who cherished interactions with fans worldwide. His legacy in the sci-fi and fantasy communities, especially through Star Wars, remains particularly vibrant. James Earl Jones. Passed away at the age of 93, James Earl Jones was an iconic American actor whose deep, resonant voice and commanding presence made him one of the most distinguished performers in film, theater, and television history. Born on January 17, 1931, in Arkabutla, Mississippi, Jones overcame a severe childhood stutter to develop one of the most recognizable voices in popular culture. Jones's career spanned nearly 70 years, marked by versatility and gravitas. He gained early acclaim on stage, earning Tony Awards for his performances in The Great White Hope, 1968-70, and Fences, 1987-88. Throughout his career, James Earl Jones appeared in nearly 200 film and television projects, leaving an indelible mark on audiences worldwide. Perhaps his most legendary role was voicing the villainous Darth Vader in the original Star Wars trilogy, 1977-1983. Though physically portrayed by David Prowse, it was Jones's powerful voice that gave Vader his unforgettable presence, helping to cement the character as a lasting cultural icon. At first uncredited for the original films, Jones eventually received full credit and reprised the role in later Star Wars projects, including Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and the Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi. Jones later retired from voicing Darth Vader in 2022, with his voice preserved digitally for future use. Beyond Star Wars, Jones's rich voice graced numerous other roles, including the wise and authoritative Mufasa in Disney's The Lion King 1994 and its 2019 CGI remake, where he was the only original cast member to return. His voice became synonymous with strength, wisdom, and power. Jones's extensive screen career included memorable roles in films like Doctor Strangelove, Field of Dreams, and The Great White Hope. On television, he won Emmy Awards for Gabriel's Fire and the TV movie Heatwave. His distinguished presence brought dignity and brilliance to every role. Despite his monumental fame, Jones remained humble and dedicated to his craft. He often spoke about overcoming his speech impediment and using that experience to fuel his artistry. He was a trailblazer for African-American actors in Hollywood, breaking barriers and paving the way for future generations. In addition to his acting, Jones was celebrated for his narration work in documentaries, commercials, and audiobooks, making his voice instantly recognizable and timeless. His distinctive voice was often parodied but never duplicated. A testament to its unique power, Jones passed away peacefully on September 9, 2024, in Dutchess County, New York, surrounded by family. Tributes poured in from all corners of the entertainment world. Disney CEO Bob Iger noted, "From the gentle wisdom of Mufasa to the menacing threat of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones gave voice to some of the greatest characters in cinema history." James Earl Jones's legacy lives on through his groundbreaking work across film, theater, and television, inspiring generations with his talent, resilience, and unforgettable voice. He is remembered not only for his powerful performances but also for his contributions to the arts as a champion of diversity and excellence. Michael Culver. Passed away at the age of 85, Michael John Edward Culver was a distinguished British actor recognized for his memorable role as Captain Needa in Star Wars, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Born on June 16, 1938, in Hampstead, London, Culver was part of an acting family, being the son of esteemed actor Roland Culver and casting director Daphne Rye. His career extended over 5 decades and included notable appearances in television, film, and theater. Michael Culver trained at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art and launched into acting with a focus on classical theater before transitioning to screen roles. He earned acclaim for his strong performances on British television shows such as The Return of Sherlock Holmes, The Avengers, The Sweeney, Armchair Thriller, and The Darling Buds of May. On stage, he performed in a variety of productions, including Harold French's A Share in the Sun at the Cambridge Theatre. While Culver was best known to international audiences for his role in the Star Wars saga, where his character Captain Needa delivered a compelling yet tragic scene being force-choked by Darth Vader as punishment for losing track of the Millennium Falcon, he also appeared in other significant British and international films. He acted in critically acclaimed films like A Passage to India, 1984, and featured in television crime dramas and mysteries, gaining a reputation as a consistent and dependable character actor. Beyond his acting career, Culver was known for his political activism during his later years. He supported anti-war movements and was vocal about social issues, using his public platform to advocate for change. Michael Culver died peacefully at home on February 27, 2024, after battling cancer for several years. Tributes from colleagues and fans highlighted his professionalism, warmth, and dedication to his craft, as well as his humility despite a career that touched iconic pop culture moments. He is survived by his wife, Amanda Ward, and their family, leaving behind a rich legacy of diverse and memorable performances in British theatre, television, and film. Barrie Holland passed away at the age of 85. Barrie Holland was a British actor widely remembered for his memorable portrayal of Lieutenant Renz in Star Wars, Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Born on May 23, 1938, in Luton, Bedfordshire, England, Holland's career spanned over 4 decades, during which he appeared in more than 200 films and TV series, often taking on uncredited roles that left lasting impressions due to his presence and professionalism. Barrie Holland's most iconic moment came with his role as the Imperial Officer, Lieutenant Renz. Famous for the line, "You rebel scum," this phrase became a cult favorite among Star Wars fans, emblematic of the classic villainy that characterizes the Galactic Empire. Barrie's acting on set created a memorable interaction with Harrison Ford, who played Han Solo. In a playful rehearsal, Ford even lightly slapped Holland's face after reacting to the insult, reportedly asking, "What did you call me?" Though that take was ultimately not used in the film. This playful behind-the-scenes story added to the lore surrounding his role. Before this breakout role, Holland's interest in acting and the big screen was clear from an early age. As a teenager, he engaged in theater productions and later served in the British Army before working in the publicity department at Vauxhall Motors. He also pursued modeling, appearing in fashion shows and TV commercials, which helped him transition into acting professionally. Holland's filmography includes appearances in major movies such as Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, 1989, Batman, 1989, Hamlet, 1990, King Ralph, 1991, and A Fish Called Wanda, 1988. While many of his roles were smaller or uncredited, he was a beloved character actor who brought depth and believability to every performance. Additionally, he appeared regularly on British television, including shows like Minder and various guest spots spanning the late 70s to the 80s. Despite often playing minor roles, Holland's career was distinctive for its longevity and the respect he earned among colleagues and fans. He was known not only for his talent, but also for his warm personality and generosity outside of the spotlight. He embraced the popularity he gained among the Star Wars fanbase and remained engaged with fans and conventions over the years. Barrie Holland passed away on December 23, 2023, in Hatfield, Hertfordshire, England, leaving behind a legacy defined by his work ethic, memorable performances, and a unique place in sci-fi culture. His iconic line from Return of the Jedi endures as one of the saga's most quoted villainous taunts, ensuring his lasting recognition among audiences worldwide. K. Stevenson passed away at the age of 58. Ray Stevenson was a beloved Northern Irish actor, celebrated for his dynamic roles in film and television, including his work in the Star Wars universe, where he portrayed characters such as Gar Saxon in Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and the Dark Force user Baylan Skoll in the Disney Plus series Ahsoka. Born George Raymond Stevenson on May 25, 1964 in Lisburn, Northern Ireland, he was known for his commanding screen presence, versatility, and dedication to his craft. Stevenson's acting journey began in the 1990s with roles in television miniseries and movies. He gained prominence for his role as Titus Pullo in the critically acclaimed HBO-BBC historical drama Rome 2005-2007. This role highlighted his talent for portraying rugged, complex characters and earned him widespread recognition. Throughout his career, Stevenson took on a variety of roles across genres, including starring as Frank Castle, the Punisher in Punisher Warzone 2008, Volstagg in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Thor films, Danny Green in Kill the Irishman 2011, and Blackbeard in the TV series Black Sails 2014-2017. His performances were known for their intensity, depth, and authenticity in the Star Wars franchise, Stevenson first lent his voice to the Mandalorian enforcer Gar Saxon before stepping into live action with his role as the compelling antagonist Baylan Skoll in Ahsoka 2023. His portrayal brought a deep sense of menace and emotional complexity to the character, earning him praise from fans and critics alike. Off-screen, Stevenson was respected for his articulate and thoughtful personality. He drew inspiration from acting legends like Lee Marvin and Gene Hackman, embracing roles that reflected bravery and emotional depth rather than typical youthful leads. Tragically, Ray Stevenson died on May 21, 2023, in Italy at the age of 58 while filming the movie Casino. His passing was met with an outpouring of grief from colleagues, fans, and the entertainment community, who remembered him as a powerful performer with a warm spirit and an unwavering commitment to his art. Stevenson's legacy endures through his memorable roles across film and television, and especially within the Star Wars universe, where his characters continue to captivate and inspire audiences. He is survived by his family, including 3 sons. Samuel Pack Elliott. Samuel Pack Elliott was born on August 9, 1944 in Sacramento, California, to Glenn and Henry Nelson Elliott. His birth came during the tumultuous final year of World War II, a time when America was still deeply engaged in the global conflict that would shape the world his generation would inherit. The Elliott family represented the quintessential American working-class household of the 1940s, with values rooted in hard work, integrity, and the pioneering spirit that had built the American West. Henry Elliott, Sam's father, worked for the Department of the Interior as a predator control specialist, a job that required the family to move frequently throughout Sam's early childhood. This nomadic lifestyle would prove instrumental in shaping young Sam's character, and his later affinity for portraying rugged, independent characters who embodied the spirit of the American frontier. The family's travels took them across various Western states, exposing Sam to the vast landscapes, diverse communities, and rich cultural tapestry that would later inform his most memorable performances. During his formative years, Sam developed a deep appreciation for the outdoors and the Western way of life. His father's work often took the family to remote areas where Sam learned to ride horses, handle livestock, and develop the practical skills that would later lend authenticity to his cowboy roles. These experiences weren't mere childhood adventures, they were foundational moments that instilled in him a genuine connection to the land and the values of self-reliance and respect for nature that permeated Western culture. The Elliott household was one where traditional values were not just preached, but lived. Glenn Elliott, Sam's mother, was a strong woman who managed the household with grace and determination. Often single-handedly maintaining stability while her husband traveled for work, she instilled in Sam the importance of respect, particularly toward women and elders, values that would later manifest in the dignified, gentlemanly characters he would portray throughout his career. Education was valued in the Elliott home, though Sam's academic journey was marked by frequent relocations due to his father's job requirements. This constant moving meant that Sam had to adapt quickly to new schools, new teachers, and new social environments. Rather than becoming a hindrance, this experience taught him resilience and the ability to connect with people from all walks of life, skills that would prove invaluable in his acting career. As a teenager, Sam's family eventually settled in Portland, Oregon, where he would spend his high school years. Portland, in the late 1950s and early 1960s, was a city in transition, balancing its logging and industrial heritage with emerging cultural and artistic movements. It was here that Sam first encountered theater and drama, though his initial interests lay more in athletics and outdoor activities than in the performing arts. The young Sam Elliott was tall for his age, already showing signs of the commanding physical presence that would later become his trademark. His distinctive voice, which would become one of his most recognizable features, was already developing its characteristic deep, resonant quality during his teenage years. Classmates and teachers often remarked on his natural charisma and the way he seemed to command attention without trying. During his high school years at David Douglas High School in Portland, Sam began to explore various interests beyond academics. He played basketball, participated in track and field, and showed a natural aptitude for public speaking. It was also during this time that he first encountered Western films and began to appreciate the artistry behind the cowboy, characters that populated the silver screen. Actors like Gary Cooper, John Wayne, and Henry Fonda became early influences. Though Sam had no immediate aspirations toward acting himself, the cultural climate of the early 1960s was one of significant change and upheaval in American society. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum. The Cold War was intensifying, and a new generation of young Americans was beginning to question traditional authority and social norms. For Sam, however, the values instilled by his parents and his connection to Western traditions provided a stable foundation that would guide him throughout his life. Sam Elliott's journey into acting was not immediate or conventional. After graduating from high school in 1962, he initially attended the University of Oregon, where he studied English and psychology. However, the structured academic environment felt confining to someone who had grown up with the freedom of the open range and frequent relocations. His restless spirit and desire for something more meaningful led him to make a pivotal decision that would change the trajectory of his life forever. In 1965, Elliott made the bold choice to leave college and move to Los Angeles to pursue acting. This decision was met with skepticism from family and friends, as the entertainment industry was notoriously difficult to break into, and Elliott had no formal training or connections in Hollywood. Armed with little more than his natural charisma, distinctive appearance, and unwavering determination, he began the challenging process of establishing himself in one of the world's most competitive industries. His early years in Los Angeles were marked by the typical struggles of an aspiring actor, waiting tables, taking odd jobs, and attending countless auditions that often led nowhere. However, Elliott's unique look, tall, lean, with piercing blue eyes and an increasingly prominent mustache, began to catch the attention of casting directors looking for authentic Western types. His first professional acting job came in 1967 with a small role in the television series Felony Squad, marking the beginning of what would become a legendary career. The late 1960s and early 1970s saw Elliott gradually building his resume with appearances in various television shows, including Lancer, Gunsmoke, and Mission Impossible. These early roles, while small, allowed him to hone his craft and develop the screen presence that would later make him a household name. His breakthrough came with his role in the 1976 film Lifeguard, where he played the title character, the aging beach lifeguard facing a midlife crisis. This role showcased Elliott's ability to convey depth and vulnerability beneath his rugged exterior, earning him critical acclaim and establishing him as a serious actor. However, it was Elliott's work in Western films that truly defined his career and cemented his status as a Hollywood icon. His role as Gar in the 1985 film Mask Opposite Chair demonstrated his versatility and emotional range. But it was his portrayal of Virgil Earp in Tombstone 1993 that truly captured audiences' imagination. Working alongside Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, and Powers Booth, Elliott brought gravitas and authenticity to the legendary lawman, delivering one of the most memorable performances in modern Western cinema. The 1990s proved to be a defining decade for Elliott's career. His role in The Big Lebowski, 1998, directed by the Coen brothers, introduced him to a new generation of fans and showcased his ability to bring depth to seemingly simple characters. As the stranger, the film's narrator, and occasional on-screen presence, Elliott provided a philosophical anchor to the surreal comedy, his distinctive voice and presence adding layers of meaning to the film's exploration of American masculinity and identity. Elliott's collaboration with renowned directors became a hallmark of his career. His work with director Ang Lee in Hulk 2003 saw him take on the role of General Thaddeus Ross, bringing his trademark intensity to the superhero genre. Though the film received mixed reviews, Elliott's performance was praised for its commitment and authenticity, proving his ability to elevate material through sheer force of personality and professional dedication. The actor's most critically acclaimed performance came with his role in A Star is Born 2018, directed by and starring Bradley Cooper. As Bobby Maine, the older brother and manager of Cooper's character Jackson, Elliott delivered a powerhouse performance that earned him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. The role allowed Elliott to showcase his full range as an actor, combining his natural charisma with deep emotional vulnerability as he portrayed a man struggling with his brother's addiction and his own sense of responsibility and regret. Throughout his career, Elliott has been selective about his roles, often turning down projects that didn't align with his values or artistic vision. This selectivity has resulted in a filmography that, while not extensive, is remarkably consistent in quality. His performances in films like The Hero, 2017, where he played an aging Western actor facing his mortality, and 1883, 2021, 2022, the Yellowstone prequel series, where he portrayed Shea Brennan, have continued to demonstrate his ability to bring authenticity and emotional depth to every role. Elliott's success extends beyond individual performances to his impact on the Western genre as a whole. In an era when traditional Westerns were considered commercially unviable, Elliott's presence in films helped maintain the genre's relevance and artistic integrity. His commitment to authenticity, from his horsemanship to his understanding of Western culture and values, has made him a bridge between the classic Hollywood Western and contemporary interpretations of the genre. The actor's distinctive voice has also become a significant part of his professional identity, leading to numerous voiceover opportunities in commercials, documentaries, and animated films. His narration work has included everything from beer commercials to nature documentaries with his deep, resonant tones, becoming synonymous with American values of ruggedness, reliability, and authenticity. Throughout his decades-long career, Sam Elliott has maintained a remarkably robust physical presence that has been integral to his on-screen persona. However, like many actors who have spent years performing their own stunts and working in physically demanding roles, Elliott has faced various health challenges that have tested both his resilience and his commitment to his craft. Elliott's approach to health and fitness has always been grounded in practical, old-school methods rather than trendy fitness regimens or elaborate wellness programs. His upbringing in a family that valued hard work and outdoor activities instilled in him a natural appreciation for physical fitness as a byproduct of an active lifestyle rather than as an end in itself. Throughout his career, he has maintained his physique through horseback riding, ranch work, and other activities that connect him to the Western lifestyle he portrays on screen. As Elliott entered his 60s and 70s, the cumulative effects of decades of physical work began to manifest in ways that are common among actors who perform their own stunts. Years of horseback riding, fight scenes, and outdoor filming in harsh conditions have taken their toll on his joints and musculature. Like many of his generation who came up in Hollywood during an era when safety protocols were less stringent, Elliott has dealt with the long-term consequences of injuries sustained during filming. One of the most significant health challenges Elliott has faced relates to his back and spine, areas commonly affected in actors who have spent considerable time on horseback and performing physical scenes. The repetitive stress of mounting and dismounting horses combined with the jarring movements associated with riding scenes has contributed to chronic back issues that many Western actors of his generation have experienced. However, Elliott has approached these challenges with the same stoic determination that characterizes his screen personas, rarely allowing physical discomfort to interfere with his professional commitments. Elliott's commitment to authenticity in his roles has sometimes meant accepting physical risks that other actors might avoid. His insistence on performing many of his own stunts, particularly in Western films where his horsemanship skills are showcased, has occasionally resulted in injuries that have required medical attention and rehabilitation. Despite these setbacks, Elliott has consistently returned to work with minimal delay, viewing physical challenges as occupational hazards rather than insurmountable obstacles. The actor's approach to aging and health has been notably different from many of his Hollywood contemporaries. Rather than pursuing aggressive anti-aging treatments or cosmetic procedures, Elliott has embraced the natural aging process, allowing his weathered features and gray hair to enhance rather than detract from his screen presence. This acceptance of aging has actually strengthened his career, as his mature appearance has made him even more convincing in roles that require gravitas and life experience. Elliott's dietary habits and lifestyle choices have generally aligned with his practical, non-nonsense approach to life. He has avoided the extremes of Hollywood diet culture, instead maintaining eating habits that support his active lifestyle without becoming obsessive about nutrition or weight management. His approach to health has been holistic, emphasizing mental and emotional well-being alongside physical fitness. The demands of voiceover work, which has become an increasingly important part of Elliott's career, have required him to maintain excellent vocal health throughout his later years. His distinctive voice, characterized by its deep resonance and clear articulation, has required careful maintenance to preserve its quality and prevent strain or damage. This has involved working with vocal coaches and speech therapists to ensure that his signature sound remains strong and reliable for recording sessions and live performances. As Elliott has aged, he has become more selective about the physical demands he places on his body during filming. While he continues to perform many of his own stunts and maintain his commitment to authenticity, he has also learned to work more collaboratively with stunt coordinators and safety professionals to minimize unnecessary risks. This evolution reflects not a loss of courage or commitment, but rather the wisdom that comes with experience and the understanding that longevity in his profession requires balancing authenticity with prudent risk management. The actor's mental and emotional health has remained remarkably stable throughout his career, despite the pressures and uncertainties inherent in the entertainment industry. His grounding in traditional values, strong family relationships, and connection to activities outside of Hollywood have provided him with psychological anchors that have helped him navigate the challenges of fame and professional success without losing his sense of identity or purpose. Elliott's approach to healthcare has been characterized by the same pragmatic sensibility that defines other aspects of his life. He has worked with medical professionals who understand the unique demands of his profession and lifestyle, seeking treatments and interventions that support his ability to continue working while addressing age-related health concerns. His medical team has likely included specialists in sports medicine and orthopedics. Given the physical nature of many of his roles, the actor's commitment to maintaining his health extends beyond personal concerns to professional responsibilities. Understanding that his physical presence and distinctive voice are integral to his marketability and artistic effectiveness, Elliott has invested in preventive care and maintenance, therapies designed to preserve these assets. This professional approach to health management reflects his understanding of his body as both a personal vessel and a professional instrument. Like many individuals who have lived a full and long life, Sam Elliott has experienced his share of personal losses and heartbreak that have shaped his character and informed his understanding of mortality and human resilience. These experiences, while deeply personal and often private, have contributed to the depth and authenticity that he brings to his performances, particularly in roles that deal with themes of loss, regret, and redemption. The most significant loss in Elliott's early life came with the death of his father, Henry Nelson Elliott, when Sam was just 18 years old. This profound loss occurred at a critical juncture in young Sam's life as he was transitioning from adolescence to adulthood and making crucial decisions about his future. Henry Elliott's death not only deprived Sam of a father figure during these formative years, but also eliminated a source of practical guidance and emotional support that would have been invaluable as he navigated the challenges of establishing himself as an actor. Henry Elliott's passing was particularly devastating because of the close relationship he had maintained with his son despite the demands of his work that often took him away from home. The elder Elliott had been a source of strength and stability for the family, embodying the traditional masculine virtues of reliability, hard work, and integrity that would later become hallmarks of Sam's screen persona. His death forced Sam to assume greater responsibility within the family at an age when most young men are still discovering their own identity and capabilities. The impact of losing his father at such a young age cannot be overstated in terms of its influence on Sam's later life and career choices. Many of Elliott's most powerful performances have involved characters dealing with father-son relationships, mentor figures, or men grappling with their own mortality and legacy. The authenticity he brings to these roles likely stems, at least in part, from his personal experience of loss and the premature assumption of adult responsibilities that followed his father's death. Elliott's mother, Glenn, became a widow at a relatively young age and faced the challenge of maintaining family stability while dealing with her own grief and the practical concerns of single parenthood. Sam's relationship with his mother deepened following his father's death as he became not only a son but also a source of emotional and practical support for her. This experience of caring for a grieving parent taught him valuable lessons about compassion, responsibility, and the importance of family bonds that would influence his approach to relationships throughout his life. As Elliott established his career in Hollywood, he witnessed the industry's toll on many of his colleagues and contemporaries. The entertainment business has always been notorious for its high rates of addiction, mental health struggles, and premature deaths. And Elliott has undoubtedly lost friends and colleagues to these occupational hazards. While he has generally kept details of such losses private, respecting both his own privacy and that of the families involved, These experiences have likely contributed to his reputation for being a grounding presence on film sets and a reliable friend and colleague. The loss of professional relationships has been another significant aspect of Elliott's experience of grief and loss. Over the course of a career spanning more than 5 decades, he has worked with many directors, co-stars, and crew members who have since passed away. These professional relationships often develop into genuine friendships, and their loss represents not only personal grief, but also the end of creative partnerships that had contributed to some of his most meaningful work. Elliott's experience with his own aging parents provided another dimension to his understanding of loss and mortality. As Glenn Elliott aged, Sam undoubtedly faced the challenges that many adult children encounter when dealing with elderly parents. Declining health, increased dependency, and eventually the final goodbye. These experiences, while natural parts of the human experience, nonetheless represent profound losses that shape one's understanding of life's fragility and the importance of cherishing relationships while they exist. The actor's connection to the Western lifestyle and rural communities has also exposed him to the particular types of losses that are common in those environments. Ranch life and agricultural communities often involve close relationships with animals, and the loss of beloved horses, dogs, and other animals that are not just pets, but working partners can be deeply affecting. For someone like Elliott, whose identity is closely tied to this way of life, such losses represent not just the death of individual animals, but the severing of connections to a lifestyle and set of values that define who he is. Throughout his career, Elliott has also experienced the industry-specific loss of roles that were particularly meaningful to him or projects that were cancelled or never came to fruition. While these professional disappointments may seem minor compared to personal losses, for an artist whose identity is closely tied to his work, the loss of creative opportunities can represent a form of grief that affects both professional satisfaction and personal fulfillment. The passage of time has also brought Elliott face to face with the loss of the cultural landscape that shaped his youth and early career. The America of the 1940s and 1950s, with its particular set of values, social structures, and cultural touchstones, has largely disappeared, replaced by society that in many ways bears little resemblance to the one in which he was raised. This cultural loss, while perhaps less acute than personal losses, nonetheless represents a form of grief for a way of life and set of values that he has spent much of his career trying to preserve and honor through his artistic work. Despite these various losses and their cumulative impact on his life, Elliott has demonstrated remarkable resilience and the ability to channel grief into artistic expression. Many of his most powerful performances have drawn upon his personal experience of loss, allowing him to bring genuine emotion and authenticity to characters who are dealing with their own struggles with mortality, regret, and the passage of time. As Sam Elliott enters his 9th decade of life, he continues to defy conventional expectations about aging and retirement, maintaining an active and fulfilling professional and personal life that reflects both his enduring passion for his craft and his commitment to the values that have guided him throughout his remarkable career. Rather than retreating from public life or reducing his professional commitments, Elliott has embraced this stage of his life as an opportunity to take on roles and projects that reflect his accumulated wisdom and experience. Elliott's recent work has been marked by a deliberate choice to pursue projects that resonate with his personal values and artistic vision. His performance in the Paramount Plus series 1883, which premiered in late 2021, represents one of his most significant television commitments in recent years. As Shay Brennan, a grizzled Civil War veteran leading a wagon train of German immigrants from Texas to Montana, Elliott brought decades of experience portraying Western characters to a role that allowed him to showcase both his physical presence and emotional depth. The series, which serves as a prequel to the popular Yellowstone series, provided Elliott with the opportunity to work with a new generation of actors and filmmakers while remaining true to the Western genre that has defined much of his career. The success of 1883 has demonstrated that there remains a significant audience for traditional Western storytelling and that Elliott's particular brand of authentic masculinity continues to resonate with contemporary viewers. His portrayal of Brennan, a man haunted by his past but committed to his responsibilities in the present, draws upon many of the themes that have characterized Elliott's best work throughout his career: honor, duty, redemption, and the complexity of human nature when tested by extreme circumstances. Beyond his work in 1883, Elliott has remained active in film projects that align with his artistic sensibilities and personal interests. His selectivity in choosing roles has become even more pronounced in recent years, as he has the luxury of turning down projects that don't meet his standards or that would require him to compromise his principles. This selectivity has resulted in a smaller number of projects, but ones that tend to be of higher quality and more personally meaningful to him. Elliott's voice work has also continued to be an important part of his contemporary career. His distinctive voice remains as powerful and recognizable as ever, making him a sought-after narrator for documentaries, commercials, and other projects that benefit from his authoritative and trustworthy vocal presence. This work has allowed him to maintain professional activity while potentially reducing some of the physical demands associated with on-camera performances. In his personal life, Elliott continues to maintain his long-standing marriage to actress Catherine Ross, whom he married in 1984. Their relationship, which has endured for nearly 4 decades, represents one of Hollywood's most stable and enduring partnerships. Ross, known for her roles in films such as The Graduate and Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid, has been a constant source of support and companionship for Elliott throughout the most successful phases of his career. Their marriage has produced one daughter, Cleo Rose Elliott, who has pursued her own artistic career as a musician. The Elliott family's primary residence is a ranch in Malibu, California, where Sam can maintain his connection to the Western lifestyle that has always been central to his identity. The ranch provides him with the opportunity to care for horses and other animals, engage in the physical work that has always been important to his sense of well-being, and maintain privacy away from the pressures and scrutiny of Hollywood. This connection to the land and to a more traditional way of life continues to inform his artistic choices and personal philosophy. Elliott's approach to aging has been notably graceful and authentic, embracing the physical changes that come with advancing years rather than attempting to fight them through cosmetic procedures or other artificial means. His weathered face, gray hair, and more deliberate movements have actually enhanced rather than diminished his screen presence, making him even more convincing in roles that require wisdom, experience, and gravitas. This acceptance of aging has allowed him to continue working in an industry that often discards older performers, finding new relevance and artistic opportunities in this stage of his life. The actor's contemporary interests extend beyond his professional work to include various philanthropic and charitable activities, though he has typically kept these efforts private, consistent with his overall approach to celebrity and public attention. His support for causes related to veterans' affairs, environmental conservation, and Western heritage reflects his personal values and his desire to give back to communities and causes that have been important to him. Throughout his life, Elliott's influence on contemporary culture extends beyond his individual performances to his role as a cultural icon, representing traditional American values and masculine ideals. In an era when many traditional concepts of masculinity are being questioned and redefined, Elliott's persona continues to resonate with audiences who appreciate his combination of strength and sensitivity, independence and commitment to family, ruggedness and refinement. His ability to embody these seemingly contradictory qualities has made him a unique figure in contemporary American entertainment. The actor's legacy is being actively constructed through various retrospective projects and honors that recognize his contributions to American cinema and television. His work has been celebrated at film festivals, Western heritage events, and industry ceremonies that acknowledge his unique position in Hollywood history. These recognitions serve not only to honor his past achievements, but also to ensure that his contributions to American culture are preserved and appreciated by future generations. Looking toward the future, Elliott appears committed to continuing his professional work for as long as his health and energy permit. Rather than announcing any intention to retire, he has indicated in interviews that he plans to continue taking on projects that interest and challenge him. This approach reflects both his ongoing passion for his craft and his recognition that work provides him with purpose and fulfillment that retirement might not offer. Elliott's current life represents a synthesis of all the elements that have made him a beloved and respected figure. His commitment to authenticity, his connection to traditional values, his dedication to his craft, and his ability to find meaning and purpose in both his professional and personal relationships. As he continues into this phase of his life, Sam Elliott remains a distinctive and influential presence in American entertainment, a living link to Hollywood's golden age of Western film and a reminder of the enduring appeal of genuine character and authentic artistry in an increasingly artificial world.